Okay, so it's been a long time since I've made a review, but I've got to make one for this book. I have recently finished Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, and I would really recommend the audio book. It is so good. Honestly, this book will have you climbing mountains. It will have you doing whatever it is you want to do that is hard. It's not just motivating. This book makes you evaluate your life and figure out like what you want to do, but it doesn't have to be your life goal. It's just something to better yourself, and it could even be your life goal. This book, for me at least, was so adaptive and so good for days just when I was feeling a little down. Even like it's it. David Goggins is a Navy SEAL who had. This is how this is. I won't spoil the book, but I will give like a brief summary of it. So he is a Marine, or he was a Marine, up until recently or whatever. But he was someone who came from a rough background, and he built himself up and overcame all of these different challenges to get to a point in his life where he had achieved almost like more than he could have dreamed. Every goal he set out to do, he would work harder and harder at it. And honestly, this guy is one of the hardest people on the planet. And listening to the way he responds to challenges and the way he thinks about things is, it's not just, the reason I say it's not just motivating is because he's very unique in his approach. He's like, motivation is bullshit. Sorry if there's any families watching, but that's what he says. He says that it's not about being motivated, because what about those days where you just don't feel like it? He says you've got to, on those days you've got to double down and you've got to do it. And he his story is so good because it shows that, like, when you feel yourself fall and you fail, you can pick yourself up again, and he overcomes challenges. And it's not just a story of David Goggins' life as to where, like, and how he got to where he is now. It's they set you challenges. It's like almost like a look at your own life. It's very a very introspective book, and honestly, one of the best, if not the best, books that I've ever read. Now, the reason I would suggest the audiobook is because they have interactions where David Goggins himself and the guy reading it will almost like have a podcast where they will discuss the chapter that they've just been reading, and you get extra bits of information, and it's just really useful for understanding that little bit more about what's going on. So it's really an amazing book. It's so good, and after each chapter or so, they set challenges, and these challenges are just interesting and useful things for reaching your own goals or bettering yourself. I mean, I didn't necessarily do all of them, or maybe even any of them, but I took away so much from this book, and it's worth reading once, if not again and again. I haven't read it again yet, but I know I will. There's rarely a time that I will read a book and I will be so sure that I'm going to listen to that again. I am 100% sure I will listen to this book again, because it's just so good. It's so motivating, but it's not just motivation. It's just, he has such a solid perspective and almost like an answer to every doubt in your mind. This guy has been there, and he's been like, he's been like, oh, so what about time? What about like not having enough time in the day to do your things? Well, he's got an answer to that, and it's not like he has the solutions to everything, but he is like almost like nudging the audience to figure it out for themselves. It's brilliant because it's like someone's telling you their life story and what they've learned, and then you can take away from it what you will. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and as you can see, I am back, I guess. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will be making another summary possibly soon. So yeah, see you in the next one.